Okay, in this problem, we are going to find the limit definition of f of x equals 10 over x using this. Now, we'll just go ahead and start by finding this difference quotient. So f of x plus h means replace this x by x plus h. So that would be 10 over x plus h minus f of x is minus the function we're given, 10 over x, all divided by h. Now, to simplify the numerator, there's two ways to actually simplify this difference quotient. One way is to multiply the entire big fraction right here by the product of these two denominators, x and x plus h. The other way is to simplify the numerator and just keep this h down here coming along. So when you simplify the numerator, that means we need to get a common denominator among these two fractions right here and then actually subtract them. So if we do that method, we need to get a common denominator. The lowest common denominator between x plus h and x is their product. So we're going to have to multiply the first fraction by x over x. I'm going to go ahead and add some parentheses there just to be on the safe side. Minus the second fraction, I'm recopying, times the other denominator over itself, x plus h over x plus h. And then we will simplify. So we have 10x here over x times x plus h. I'm just flipping that product right there. Minus here in this numerator we have 10 times x plus h. And I'm going to go ahead and, well, I'll just write it like that. 10 times x plus h over this product. And now you'll notice they have the same denominator, so we can go ahead and subtract, and it's still all over h. So when we subtract, you keep the denominator the same. Go ahead and put that big over h first. We keep the denominator as x times x plus h, and then we subtract the numerator. So the first numerator is 10x minus 10 times x plus h. So this is the little fraction here inside of this bigger fraction right here. And let's go ahead and distribute that negative out. So we'll have 10x minus 10h over x times x plus h. And that's all over the big fraction h. And notice the 10x's cancel. So we have negative 10h over x times x plus h all over h. That is what you would put right here for simplifying the numerator. Then it says divide out the h. So what that means, let's see, and I'm low on space here. I'll just make a little bit more room. So what that means is that big h there in the denominator, we're going to rewrite it as the multiplication of a fraction. In other words, because this is really can be thought of as h over 1, I'm going to rewrite this, come over here, as this fraction times the reciprocal of this fraction, because we're dividing by the fraction h over 1. So in the numerator, we have 10h over x times x plus h. And then we're dividing by h over 1. Well, you could write it as dividing by h over 1. That's traditional division bar right there. Which is the same, remember, as multiplying by the reciprocal of the second fraction. So I'm going to write it as times 1 over h. Then when we do that, now these h's cancel. That's dividing out the h's. So we're left with negative 10 over x times x plus h. That is what you would put right here for dividing out the h. Now this should say limit as h goes to 0. That's just a typo. So then we find the limit as h goes to 0 of the difference quotient here. So when you actually take the limit as h goes to 0, that right there becomes 0. And you get negative 10 over x times x, or x squared.